Right, I've got the engine out and the bike's put back and all safe. I've got the laptop in with the manual on it, and we've got the engine up on the table ready to work on it. And I couldn't get the magneto off, so I've got to send off for a puller, and that won't be here for 3 days. So that's it, I need to wait for that. Anyway, I'll strip the other engine down tomorrow, or maybe tonight, and we're on whenever we get in there. Well, today is the Sunday, I had a day off yesterday. Today I've got to take the clutch apart. Now it says on here, when you're undoing the centre bolt here, it says use the special part to hold that cog still while you undo it. So I got my special tool. And there you go. Special tool. Got the right space banner, see? Just about to take the gudgeon pin out the piston. This is piston 1, and this is what way round he's facing. The little arrow there, just there, is towards the back of the piston. Okay, and I've lost the circlip. I've got to look for it. If not, I'll have to order one online. Okay, I've got the one piston off. The other one I can't get off because the engine won't rotate to get it to come to take the gudgeon pin off. But look, both of the con rods on the big end are seized solid. So I'm going to need shells and God knows what until I strip it down. But I can't do it until I get the splitter for the other end. So anyway, let's get tidy up for today, that I do. So undo the joy change sprocket. It says put your foot on the brake, but you can't. I've got no brake because the engine's out of the thing. So a bit of tube resting from there to there, bang, and she's now loose. Ready to go. Well, as I said, we got the one piston off, and I took the other head off there, but I can't get the piston because it's on its con rod, and it is froze solid. Both con rods are seized solid on the thing, look. So I've got to split the case, and I can't do that till the case splitter comes. At the moment I'm just carbureting the gears. So I've just done the oil pump and the oil pump drive. I lost the circlip off of that, so it's £2.40, I just had to buy another one. And I got to pay 11 quid for a circlip for the gudgeon pin for the other piston. That's because the postage is coming a long way from China, just one epoxy circlip on its own. Never mind, got to be done. Okay, we have the rod that comes out of the middle of the clutch. The clutch is on the other side, but from this side the rod goes in, so it's the longest part there, tapered, and the shortest part. The longest part goes in first. That goes right through to the other side to the clutch. So I'll take that out now so it don't get bent. Well, when I took the gear shift drive out, there's a little spring in there and a little spring on the other side, and these pins go in there and they fire it out. Well, I found that one, but I can't find the other one. So I've got a drill there, which is exactly the same size as that, so I'll cut my own out of that. Okay, moving on, it's Saturday now, and I've spent a lot of time, and now I'm just splitting the case. This morning I'm going to take it off and see what we got inside there. So fingers crossed. Lay on the piston is pointing down at the front. There's the back cylinder, there's the front cylinder, that's pointing that way. Well, when you take the case to pieces, It says all these gears should stay on the left hand side, well this is the right hand side, looking forward at the bike. And they couldn't stay in there because they wouldn't come out of there because there's a screw there in the bottom. See that pin with a bracket on it holding all these cogs in, so all this lot couldn't come out anyway. So now I've got to try and work this out. Well, this time I think I've managed to get the gears proper. All these at the right way, and then I thought there was one down here. So I've been here quite a while now trying to figure out how to put that back lock back in because it shouldn't have come out. But anyway, I think that's the gears all done now. So I've rebuilt that. I'm surprised I've done that now. Take a good look at that. There's a bottom one, a top one, and there's a middle one, grooves that is for the gears. Fingers crossed. Right, yesterday I took all these out the side there and I had a pot of white spirits and I brushed all the inside the case because there was a hell of a lot of metal parts inside them. Now today, I'm in there, I've got the bearing for this one in the fridge, so I'm hoping that'll shrink. And what I'll do later is warm this up so the bearing should just drop in. But in the meantime I've got 3 or 4 days waiting for the crank to come, so I'm going to make my own crank puller. I've got this one to go by, so I can use that as a judge how to make the crank. So fingers crossed. Well, after the fun I had yesterday with the gears, I took loads of photos of them so I don't have to work it all out again. But while I'm banging this case apart, I thought I'd just tape them like that. They're there to stay, they're not going anywhere. I don't want to rebuild that again. So far, to make this puller, I've got a gas canister and I've cut it. Cut the 2 bits off that I don't need now, but I'll keep them there in case I do need them later. Now I've got one of my old G-clamps there, and I've cut this bit off and that can go on. It's the puller. So now it's just a matter of putting it together and making an end that'll go on the end of the crank. Easy enough. I've done this, that's turning the bolts going right through the middle and sticking it there. So all I've got to do now is figure out how to get that to grip onto there. I've got to make some sort of adapter to make that hook onto that nut. Okay, so I've now made the fitting that'll go on like that to pull that through, and that now will go on there. That now will go on the end of the tool I've made there, and I've got to get another nut to put on there so that comes off and on, so I can change that for this to do different jobs. And then I've got to go and get another scissor jack now to cannibalise to get the thread, or to get the nut. It's all made. Screw on the end, the fitting. That's the fitting that goes on that end to go over that and pull that. And there's a nut on the top which is a wheel nut, and it's welded on solid. That's saving me 40-50 quid. So there's the crankcase in place, and the tool is on, and the fitting that goes onto the crank is there to hold it. And I've got to slip on from the side angle, so we've got a back plate there which comes off, and that comes off like that, and that goes over the top of that to make that stay in place. Well, I've done the hot cold treatment. I warmed the casing up with the gas and I had the bearing in the fridge. When I come out, the bearing sat in there and all but a fucking tap, 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 very light tap as she went in. So all I do now is leave the case and let it cool down evenly, and the bearings in. Then I managed to get the crank free, but that one's okay, but that one there got so much play in each front, and I cannot split them right apart. So I'll need the new bearing, so this cunt's fucking me about. I can't do fuck all till I get it. Anyway, that's the bearing in. That was one worry out of the way. It's in lovely. I couldn't feel myself doing it, but today I put the crankcases back together, put the crank in, and checked it's all free. Turn it around there. It's all lovely and free. Everything's greased up, nice, and just rebuilding the gear side of it, and I dropped the bolt in for that hole there. So I just made up a magnet on the end of a stick, and I can see the bolt in there. I'm hoping to pull it out with that. If not, it's straight the bloody crankcase again. So fingers crossed, coming together. There you go. Don't have to split the crank now. Hey, and I've learned a lesson. When I'm putting that screw in, I leave that gear cog out so it's not in the way. The gear half's already in, so I'll do that now. Bedlock. Put the crank in and put the two halves back together, and suddenly I was looking for the cog that had gone here, and I couldn't find it. And I looked at one over this side, and I thought that looks like the one I want. Then I realised I put the crank in the wrong way around. So I've just started to put the crank back in, again using my tool that I made, and now it's right in, and lucky I did, because not being used to these motors, I had both of these, the con rods, in the same barrel. So I would have had to have stripped it anyway. So anyway, it's back together now, and I'm just going to put the sealant on and put the two cases back together. Fingers crossed. And there's my next project for the winter. The stud just won't give me. There she goes. It's a trials bike, but it got a different engine than what it's been made with, so I've got to get two manuals, one for the body and one for the engine. But away you go. I'm busy all winter.